Welcome to, it should be the 6 o'clock, but it's a 6:07 p.m. meeting here on January 8, 2025, for the Board of Commissioners of Meriwether County. Ask you to silence all your phones, any electronic devices this time. We'll stand for the invocation. Mr. Blue, you'll give us the pledge, and then remain standing for the pledge to the flag, please.
All right, everybody, if you'll bow your heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this time to meet together as a community. We ask for your blessings over these decisions and your hand over our proceedings. We ask this stuff in your Son's name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion, we'll have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Adopt the agenda. The first thing on the agenda tonight is to appoint the chairman. And with that being said, I would love to make a motion for Adam Worsley to be the chairman for 2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Got a second, all in favor? We have adopted our chairman. Before we change seats here, I'd like to say that it's been a wonderful year. The staff has been phenomenal. Y'all have been professional, respectful. I've learned a lot. I've enjoyed meeting and talking to people throughout the county as the chair for Meriwether County. I'm glad I had the opportunity to serve the citizens. I look forward to it again in the future, to be able to do it again. But with that being said, Mr. Adam, I'd like to hand you over your personalized Chairman Adam Worsley 2025 gavel, and I hope you don't have to use it no more than you need to.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Now, wait a minute. I don't want to sit by Gene.
You won't be. Is this yours? That's not, oh yes, my birthday card that I gave you. Thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
All right, we'll move right along to item number 2 on the agenda is appoint vice chairman.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Commissioner Emmett Collins as our vice chair.
I'll second that.
All right, a motion and a second, all in favor? Everybody? Motion passes.
There you go. I'll let you sit on the left side of your chair.
You just thought you had a comfy seat.
He said he needs to sit over there so he can hear John better.
All y'all grown.
Everybody good? Good. Item number 3 is appoint county administrator. Motion for the board.
I make a motion that we reappoint the interim chair, County Administrator John Gordon.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, item number 4 is appoint county clerk.
I make a motion to reappoint Allison. What's your last name? I'm just kidding. Allison Stevens.
We got a motion to have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Item number 5 is appoint county attorney.
Make a motion that we appoint the law firm of Glover Davis.
We have a motion to have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Motion passes. Do we have any presentations today?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
All right, moving right on to the finance report.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, yeah, the bank balance is about $230 today. As you can see, we are in very good financial shape right now. The general fund has over $6 million. That's due to about 80% of taxes being collected so far. The fire district O&M has $1.4 million. We'll be transferring some of that money back to the general fund. That's fire district owes general fund for paying its bills. We will be transferring money into the investment pool, which is currently at $7.8 million to be gained. We're gaining about $30,000 in interest. So if I move $2.5, $3 million, that should go up to about $45,000 to $50,000 in interest. The tipping fees, we'll be getting that probably within the next couple of weeks. I haven't got the numbers yet. I did verify with Susan, their district manager, that everything that they've reported to us is correct. It's verified by the EPD by Georgia. The issue now becomes is the contract pricing correct, and we're receiving our correct contract pricing. So I will be sitting down with her to go over that contract pricing. Your second page is your SPOS and T-SPOS. The JLAC cool repair has been paid. We have a check for that. We're just waiting for confirmation that staff is satisfied with that repair, and we'll mail that check out. We have currently $977,000 as the day to spend. T-SPOS, I did put RKO graveling, $45,000 that is committed. We'll be paying that on the next check run. We have $216,000 in T-SPOS to spend. LRA money, we did have some. Magnolia had an invoice turned in. LL Revel had an invoice turned in. So we have about $651,000 left in LRA funds that we can spend.
So in the LRA funds, these 4 projects consume the original LRA, correct?
With 651 left over.
After completing these 4 projects?
Correct.
So we need to start identifying the next project?
Yes, sir. And Cane Creek Bridge would be the next one we would recommend RLA funding pay for. And that RFP would be January 25th. We'll get them bids in.
Any other questions about the finance report?
We still coming along with the audit stuff?
Yes, sir. That's with the EPD. I did verify they are reporting the correct tonnage. Now it becomes the issue with the contract pricing. I need to sit down with Susan, let her go over that because there is a stipulation that goes up so much per year. I just need to know where we're at, and I'm hoping we get this check is equivalent to the last one, another $100,000 increase or maybe a little more. Those numbers should be released next week when I hear from their accountant.
We should be able to negotiate increase on the fees too, shouldn't we? Or just the contract?
I think the contract limits us along with state legislation, so I'll be sitting down with Susan Arnett, I think it's Arnett, the district manager, and go over that whole thing. 'Cause I told her I need some help understanding the structure on the fee schedule that they provided us.
Moving on to number 7, the department head comments. Speaking.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, I'd like to introduce Andrew McCory. He's our new recreation director, and I hope I said his last name correctly. He is from Troup County, he comes over from Troup County, so we'll be working with the recreation department, and he's our new Parks and Rec director.
Welcome aboard.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot for you to do. All right, do we have any citizen comments?
No, sir.
Excuse me, back to the department head, okay? Just want to make sure everybody's aware of the weather coming in. We've got potential for black ice. We have potential for up to a 1/4 inch of ice, and even some snow. Mainly this is going to occur over Thursday into Friday morning and continue into Saturday where it should hopefully let up. So I've been in communication with the superintendent of schools. He's doing remote learning Friday, so schools will be out this upcoming, and we'll, of course, we'll be monitoring and what we can and be basically respond to as safely we can do so. That's all I got.
In mention of that, are we working with Public Works to have a plan to prepare the roads in advance of that? What kind of equipment do we have to be able to do that?
We'll be scheduling a sit down with Public Works tomorrow to go over all that. We just got notification of an update today than when it's scheduled to come in.
Myself and Barry have had conversations about that. They're planning on, of course, getting salt, as much salt as possible. He was tinkering around with the idea of using the water truck for brine, but he's just worried of what damage it'll do to the system. So, but I mean, mainly right now, what they're going to be doing is I think they're going to just do the good old fashioned spread it with a shovel on the back of a pickup truck on these bridges for right now. So.
I know I saw brine trucks from DOT
Yes.
this morning.
DOT is out putting them on.
So they'll be on the state roads, but not our county.
Right.
Correct.
We need to do as much as we can. We need to pull, in my opinion, resources from other projects to get this, make sure the citizens are safe during this time. I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
what kind of resources we have, but I think they'd understand if we pull them from what they were doing. Okay, citizen comment? Is that none? The minutes from the December 23rd, 2024 regular meeting at 6 p.m. Everyone had a chance to review.
Before you do approve the minutes, Commissioner Snelson brought to my attention a word that got auto-corrected. It was on page 4, I believe, under the finance report, if I'm not mistaken, where it said the fire chief had received all the trucks. It changed it to removed all the trucks, but all the fire trucks have been received from Coweta County. So that word changed to received.
Okay.
And I have corrected that.
Any other changes that need to be made?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of the meeting.
Motion, have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, no public hearings,
No, sir.
so under appointments, item 1, ACCG Legislative Coordinator, to fill an appointment that will expire 1/1/2025, it's a one-year term.
It's usually the chairman.
That was what I was afraid of.
We can do the vice chair if you'd rather.
No, that's fine, that comes with the duties, so
I make a
that's what the
motion
board
to-
wishes, I'll do.
I make a motion, point Adam Worthy.
I'll second it.
All right, have a motion and a second, all in favor? Motion passes. Item 2, Community Action for Improvement, Kathy, to fill a term that will expire on 1/1/2025, it's a one-year term.
Currently, Blue Coal is serving in that role.
I'll do it again? Yeah. I make a motion? I make a motion to appoint Blue Coal.
Motion and a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right, item 3, Industrial Development Authority, to fill a term that will expire on 1/9/2025, it's a four-year term from District 1.
That's me.
Yes.
District 1.
It has expired or will?
Will expire
expire.
on January the 9th.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's posted on 1/1. We passed that date.
It's 1/9.
No, the previous two say 1/1, but our first meeting wasn't until 1,
We don't pass that date,
because we haven't had a meeting
We haven't been
until
able to have a
today.
meeting.
but it will expire on that date.
It did expire on that day,
Oh,
but they haven't had a meeting since, so we're good.
so it should have said that expired.
I correct, noted.
Anyhow, District 1's my district, I'd like to make a motion to table this to the next meeting. I was not even aware that that was coming up for my district.
Gene, I will say, I think they put Mary Bray in on that one for District 1 on you. I do know she's done a really good job, so just a consideration.
And at first I said I hadn't heard nothing about it, but
I sent it out to you guys, highlighted.
It's in here now and all the list, so we got a motion to table that to the next meeting, you have a
so
second?
they've got somebody they would like to stay on there. Then that's fine.
Do you have to live in that district for?
You don't. You can cross over.
I live in the counties that.
Okay.
You wanna
Then,
withdraw that motion and make a new one, or you?
yeah, we didn't get a say. Well, yeah, I'll withdraw that and make a motion for what's the person's name?
Mary Bray.
Mary Bray to continue.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All in favor? Motion passes. All right, item 4 is Lake Meriwether Advisory Board, 2-year term, District 1. That'd be you again.
Is there someone that? would
Right
like-
now, you have Mr. Frank Keller serving in that role, and I'm not sure if he would like to continue, if y'all would.
I hadn't talked to him.
Has he been making any of the meetings or anything?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right, then, should I ask him first or go ahead and appoint him, you think?
I'd
All
ask him first.
right, with that, on that one, I'll make a motion to take it to the next meeting.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All in favor? Motion passes. Item 5, Lake Meriwether Advisory Board, 2-year term, District 3.
I make a motion to reappoint David Williamson to the District 3 Lake Meriwether Board.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Lake Meriwether Advisory Board, 2-year term, District 5.
That's you.
Yep. Who is serving in this?
Dan.
Danny Stevens,
Stevens.
you appointed him.
Yeah, so. You know if he wants to keep
He
it?
will.
All right, so I'll make a motion to reappoint Danny Stevens for District 5, Lake Meriwether Advisory Board.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Okay, Lake Meriwether Advisory Board, 1-year term, has to be a commissioner.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Commissioner Collins.
I'll second that. You want to do
That's fine.
it? All in favor? Commissioner Collins. Item 8, Lake Meriwether Advisory Board, 1-year term from the city of Woodbury. Have they
We
advised?
priorly have Jada Holmes serving in that position, and I'm not certain if she would like to continue. Have you?
I don't know,
spoken
but
to
I make
Jada?
a motion to reappoint Jada Holmes.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Number 9, appointment to planning commission. This is a 5-year term from District 4.
Beth Neely currently serves in that role, and I would like to make a motion to reappoint her. Neely
second.
Hadley, sorry.
I second that.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor? Item 10, Three Rivers RC&D Board, 1-year term.
This was continued from the December meeting. The term that is available right now is being held by a non-public member. Is that correct?
I think so.
And that is Ms. Faye Perdue.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to continue with Faye Perdue.
Is this, we don't-
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll second it. All in favor? Item 11, Zoning Board of Appeals, 3-year term that will expire on January 5th, 2025. Well, it did expire on January 5th,
Thank you.
2025.
Right now, I believe that's being held by Mr. Mike Womack.
This board rarely meets. I don't think it's met a single time since I've been on the board for 12 years.
Do we need to contact him to see if he wants to?
Yeah,
or-
I would table it tonight. I make a motion to table this until further
Second.
communication,
But till the next meeting or?
until the next meeting.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aren't we missing one? The chair, I was chair last year, served with the Three Rivers that meets.
The chair will serve, it's not an appointment, but the
Okay,
chair will
okay.
serve over
Right.
with Faye Perdue.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, moving on to item 11, unfinished business. So item 1 under there is 2025 LMIG application, discussion of road projects.
Commissioners, Meriwether County has been awarded $830,548.14 for the FY '25 local maintenance and improvement grant to LMIG with a required 30% match of almost $250,000. This brings the total funding available for roadway and infrastructure improvements to $1,079,712.58. These funds will support critical projects that enhance safety, mobility, and connectivity throughout the county, ensuring efficient use of resources to meet the needs of the community. Staff has reviewed the road list prepared by Bill Cawthorn and determined that any road with a rating of 29 or higher qualifies as needing resurfacing. One factor to consider when determining the roads that are listed in here were the residents that's living on each road and the estimated amount of T-Splosh funding. The balance of the LRA funds after Cane Creek can be used as well. This is estimated to be around $350,000, bringing the total to about $1.429,712.58.
So the 1.079 million, you're gonna add LRA funds.
We can't add RLA if we wish to. And that estimated to be about $350,000 after Cane Creek.
When we generated the budget, we anticipated this, a match of LMIG funds.
Correct.
And we were anticipating higher LMIG grant.
We were anticipating, I budgeted right around $830,000 that we would receive. Just off a rough estimate of prior years.
Okay, so we don't have any wiggle room in the budget there that we already budgeted for a higher number. So I thought we
It's
budgeted
right
$1
around this
million.
amount. Yeah, with the match, it's around $1 million. But I budgeted around $825,000, $830,000. It came in real close on my estimate on what we would receive from the state. And there's 8 projects that Bill identified out of this one. And this is just for the board to look at. I mean, if we tabled it until the next meeting for the board to consider which projects, that'll give Allison plenty of time to get it into the state.
But we still have plenty of time. We can just
My
amend it.
deadline is January 31st, so I need to have it to them by February 1st. And I have already spoken with our representative, our local aid coordinator, and advised her that it would be the 31st probably before I got it sent to her.
So everything can be written, leaving out what projects we decide.
It's an electronic application that I basically just go in and plug in the projects, and the amounts for the project, so we can get to that amount, showing that we're gonna commit our 30%.
We can have it done in a day.
Is this
Yes.
full depth reclamation?
Correct. I think so. Will Bill Cawthorn? Yes, sir.
Oh, it is, okay.
For these 8 proposed roads.
I
And
will
we-
say this, I would like to have some for District 4 this year, since it was all taken away from District 4 last year.
And Bill, I think he did write each district on each one.
Right.
The very first one is Luthersville Road. You can finish off that one. That would take out the whole LMIG. But there are at least one from one district, and I think there's one that crosses multiple districts.
There.
Page 22, it covers District 3, 4, and 5, and that is Mel Harris Road, and that's Melvin Harris. And that's 1.7 miles, that's 876,000. So we can put another road with it if the board chooses. And we can put together different scenarios for the board, but we wanted to give at least a road from each district to be considered.
Well, from District 2, I'd like us to look at Keith Road and King Road.
Keith Road.
There's a bridge on Keith Road that if you hit it, you're gonna tear up your car. I mean, it's gonna need a
They've
lot
already,
more assistance.
I will say this, they've done the studies for roads so far with a list. It may take us past our deadline that we have to turn this in if they
Oh, I
go out
understand. I
and look
just
at
want
additional.
it, those roads are horrible.
Well, I didn't know.
And Commissioner Sells, I'll send you that road list
Yes,
with
please do.
with the.
Because they're a lot
project.
worse than Alley Road, and Alley Road's on here, and it was paved
Hold
more
it back
recently than
3
any of
years
these
And
roads.
then get it all at once.
Well, he gonna share that with everybody.
That, I was told that you can, the LMIG money, you don't have to get it this year, you can hold it back up to 3 years.
You can get the money. and
You need to give them a
submit
project.
Projects, but you have 3 years to spend that money. You
Right,
can't
okay.
hold more
Yes.
than 3 years of those funds.
Okay.
You have to give them a project, and then we can reallocate those funds to a different project, but we have to give them a project to get the funding
Yeah.
and secure the funding.
That's part of the
So
online.
so you can give them the project, and then you can allocate it somewhere else.
We just have to resubmit it back to the state saying we decided to hold these funds for a year. Next year, we'll get the other 800,000, give us 1.6, with the match be 2
Could we
million.
reach out to like that EMC firm, they do roads, and let them get us a bid on these roads and see if it's the same?
Actually, I've talked to them about the courthouse. I was gonna bring that up in my comments, that he did ask about the LMIG project. 'Cause they're engineering that one.
15,000 miles a mile, that seems like a mighty lot.
And this was Bill's estimate based off of the current price, I think, from ER Snell, because they have the 2024 LMIG.
I mean, I'm just thinking if we do more, it might be cheaper, you know?
Yes, sir.
If we do, if we
And
do a.
in prior years, it's not uncommon for the
instead of
county to
doing
hold 2
a million and a half
years.
A year project, if we held the funds for 3 years and did a $5 million project, we might get a cheaper rate.
Yes, sir. And before I came on, I did
might
notice
get
that
able to
it was
get
2
more.
years of LMIG out there that the county did, the 23 LMIG, because it was 2.3 or 2.4 million
If I'm
dollars.
not mistaken, when you turn in the project to get awarded the amount of money, that amount of money has to go for that project only. It can't just sit in an account and then go
Correct.
towards something else later. So in order to get the money on an annual basis, we have to turn in a specific
Right.
project with
That's correct.
specific
It's
roads
need-based.
named.
Yes.
So if the plan is to do this, then each year it would have to be
Earmarked
that particular
reserved.
road to get done over a 3-year period. So if we put in McLean Road today or Millen Harris Road today and get money, and then next year we put in something else, and then the next year we put in something else, and we get all the money for 3 years, we can't take this money that was or set aside here and this money that was set aside the second year and use it towards something bigger. It has to be used for that.
Well, I understand that, but you put in the application for one road, 2 roads, and 3 roads over 3 years, then when you get it done, you might get 4 or 5 roads done if you hold that money to get it cheaper. I mean, I don't know, I'm just trying to get more bang for our buck.
When you put in the
It
project,
just seems like to me with $1.5 million, it's hard to get contractors to come into this county to do something for that little amount of money.
when you put in the projects on the LMIG application, I have to put what you're doing, the name of the road, and then the actual estimated amount of that road. So what Bill has put in the packet, as far as an estimated amount, would be what I have to do. So if you chose to go ahead and do that same project, so you need to know what road you're gonna do if you're
Yeah.
gonna hold the money.
Yeah, but it's not hard to change it though.
I don't think so.
Because they changed, they took the money for Coleman Creek and put it on Lutherfield, so it's not hard to change.
That wasn't LMIG.
No, it wasn't.
No.
LD.
Well, that was something, but it's still it's government
But
money.
they did do one the first year or so we were on here, a need change, and they did reclassify there and applied, and it was approved.
Correct.
You don't always know if you'll get the approval, but it's worth looking at, but what kind of discount savings do we get? Maybe 10%, 15% to come due, because you're doing all this at one time? Some of these roads are in pretty bad shape. Is it worth doing that for $80,000?
We also have to look at the increase over each year too. We don't know what that percentage could be. It could increase 20%. We're trying to save an additional 15%.
Program could go
Or
away.
the program could go away, or it could be less like
You
we
must
had
save more than
prior
that.
years.
But it depends on the cost of materials.
So the LMIG deadline is January 31st. Our next meeting is January 28th.
Yeah,
You can see this is going to be a long conversation when we get into this.
yeah.
So we have to, as a board, make a decision on January 28th.
Yep.
And then is that enough time for you to
Yes.
do what you
Yes,
need
sir.
to do?
Because I'll probably have to get you as chairman to sign the application, but we'll make that work.
Staff can get it done in
It
a day.
doesn't matter to me which roads we do. I mean, we can do all of them in Brian's district or Adams and whoever, or Jennifer's district, because they haven't got any money either. But I mean, I just want to do what's best for the county.
Well, I'll make
All
a motion
of it.
I'll make a motion to table this until our January 28th meeting.
I second it.
Motion is second, all in favor?
There you go.
And during that time, staff will reach out with different projects, can kind of work with the commissioner to see what we need to have presented.
I definitely think we need to get in touch with EMC.
All right, item 2 is fiscal year 2025 Public Transportation Service Agreement, Three Rivers Regional Commission.
Commissioner, this was tabled from the December meeting due to not having enough information. We did reach out and we did get information from Ms. Brantley. After discussing the transit agreement with Three Rivers, it was clarified there was no charges incurred in the prior years due to sponsorships covering the cost of the transit program. However, now that Three Rivers has assumed full management of the program, their insurance expense has doubled. As a result, they're requesting $25,900 for this fiscal year from July 1st, 24 to June 30th, 25 to ensure transit program can continue for the residents of Meriwether County. Behind that is an email from Ms. Brantley outlining the highlights of the questions that the board asked. I have attached a highlights sheet here too that gives you a quick overview of the Meriwether Services FY25 as it relates to transit. This has financial and operational data. Three Rivers has not collected any funds from the county since 2016. This is in part due to some additional funding received from other sources, also because extra funding was received during the COVID pandemic. No funding was requested from the counties in the system. As of July 1st, 23, Three Rivers RC brought its transit service in-house. This resulted in some additional operational costs. An example of increased costs included their insurance coverage for the buses. This cost increased nearly 100% from July 23 to July 24 because they're a relatively new company providing direct transportation services. Three Rivers Transit services in a 7-county area, and each county has been requested to share in the cost of providing these services to its residents. A contract is issued each year to local governments and runs from July 1st to June 30th. Each year, all local governments will receive a contract for the transit service provided. And she did break down what the cost was on the next page, and Meriwether County's portion will be $25,900. For the total operating cost for FY25 for Meriwether County will be $355,337. $355,337.
25.9 and then.
$25,900 for Meriwether County.
Okay.
The other 6 counties share in that.
So I thought our major concerns from the last meeting were they asking for back years pay?
I
They
spoke with Ms.
clarified that.
Brantley, and no, they are not asking for back years.
Is this something we budgeted for every year?
No, sir, because I did not know we had it. This was something that came in last minute.
Item.
Correct.
Okay.
It should have been budgeted, and if I'm not mistaken, we did pay them something between the years of 2016 to 2020 until COVID came. And that's when the amount did not occur on an annual basis.
That's what we were thinking.
But I'm pretty sure that we did pay them.
We have paid them in the past.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I would have to refer back to the old system. The new system does not have that.
Because I was chair at the time that COVID hit, and I think that is the first year that we did not have to pay out anything due to the additional funds from the state and federal government.
So are we asking on this for approval to enter
Correct.
this contract?
And that goes through July of 2025, and then is there a prediction on what the next year will be?
Yeah, I spoke with her and I asked her for enough headway to be able to inform the board, but she says that they inspect an increase, she will let me know as far as their insurance costs. But that's basically what we're having to aid in, is the insurance cost.
Well, it says it's $3 one way per passenger trip. Who gets that money?
They do.
They
They
do.
do.
That's how they
The bus
calculate.
company, the Three Rivers gets that back,
Well, they furnish the driver and all.
and the bus and the maintenance.
Yeah. But the bus will stay parked here.
Right.
So we need a motion from the board to either approve this or not approve this. Does this need to include allowing the chair to sign?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve and allow chair to sign.
I second.
All in favor?
And then we'll get invoiced again for
Yeah, we
24?
will be invoiced. No, we won't be invoiced again until June,
That's what I
when
mean.
this one runs out. It will go
25.
from 25 to 26. And I'll try to have that ahead of time, because that was sprung on us as well.
I'm sorry, we need to go back. What account are we gonna pay this out of?
It'll be out of general government, what's the, it's
Is it general fund or T-Splosh?
It's general fund will pay for it. It's be the contingency
Contingency fund.
line item.
So do we need to modify the motion?
Motion modified to.
Thank you, Allison, for the word.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. All right, new business, allocation of funds for renovations and repairs at 17234 Roosevelt Highway, Building A, Greenville, Georgia, 30222.
Commissioner staff is requesting an allocation of $30,000 to fund repairs and potential renovations for a property located at 1723 Roosevelt Highway, Building A, also as currently known as the DFAX Building. These funds will be utilized to address any necessary maintenance, structural updates, or improvements required to make the space suitable for relocating office personnel, and the funding will be splossed. And this is just for the term of January 15th. That way we can go ahead and before the next meeting to start renovating and getting it set up for the courts and other staff
Let me
and putting
ask
in
you this.
restriction
We have
areas.
the money in general fund to be able to do this, because once we pull from a SPOS, because there are only certain things that can be pulled out of a SPOS account, if we have the money in general fund, I, for one, rather have it out of general fund and leave the SPOS for those certain things that we can only utilize that money for.
Yes, sir, we can use contingencies as well. I think I put 100,000 in there for unforeseen. And I don't expect it to be 30,000, but we just want to have enough to make sure we can secure the building for the court side and for the tax commissioner and building on the other side.
So we have certainty now that they will leave January 15th, or.
We need to discuss in executive session about,
Wasn't that building just redone like?
It had a water pipe burst at the same time that the health department did. It was completely renovated.
Yeah.
and this will be
It may not
for
need
security
the whole
doors.
It won't, but
No.
to go in and subdivide certain areas that will
Yeah.
probably be needed, there will be some additional.
We need some infrastructure to allow people,
Right.
courthouse people, tax
Right.
commission, all that to move in there while we remodel their facilities.
I've always been known to ask for more and spend less.
But is that the norm to ask for a certain amount and just go do what you need to do? Or shouldn't you be getting repair costs or check the cost of it and then bring it to the board to approve those costs?
Probably done in-house.
It'd be done, yes. The majority will be done by our
So no need to
maintenance
get quotes when
personnel
We can do it in-house.
and to stay within our procurement guidelines. This is mainly because the court requires restriction to certain areas that we need to put in place.
Do we have the staff to do that in-house?
If through our procurement guidelines, we can outsource it out. I mean, we're talking maybe putting in some doors with buzzer locks. I don't foresee it costing, $1,000 to do a couple doors to kind of separate the judge's chambers from the conference room he wants to use, just to separate.
Only concern I
public
have
from
with it is I don't want to approve up to $30,000 to spend and we start doing work in a building that we won't know until we go to executive session. And when can we actually use it and go in? And we spent $30,000. So I don't know. The sensitivity around that need to be executive session, or do we table this and come back, or,
Vote after executive session.
Yeah.
so we go,
I make a motion to table.
Second.
Table to the end of the meeting?
Well, we can come back and reopen. I'm making a motion to table.
So you seconded it?
I did.
All in favor? Discussion of RFP for elections build-out.
Commissioners, we received one bid for the election bid out from Rubio and Sons Interior Incorporated. That amount came to $672,117 base price. There were a couple additional charges that total close to $20,000 additional on top of that. Staff is recommending that we reject that bid and allow staff to negotiate with the vendor to try to reduce the pricing. And if that fails, that we go out under professional services and follow our procurement guidelines to try to piece drywall electrician to get elections set up for April 18th, I think is their deadline they need to move in. Because I think the prior RFP was $500,000 before staff went in and did most of the demolition of the building, and then we have a $672,000 bid come in.
So you saying reject the bid from Rubio and Sons
And allow staff to try to negotiate a lower price
with Rubio and Sons or with somebody else?
with Rubio and Sons first, and if that fails,
The law requires you to negotiate with the low bidder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't just go out and negotiate with other people, but you can negotiate with the low bidder.
And then reject
How
it.
long,
You gotta reject it, you can negotiate with the low bidder.
and we'll do that in January
And then
28th.
he's gotta bring it back to you guys for approval.
Okay,
Yes.
well, what if that Rubio and Sons doesn't wanna go any lower?
We've talked about it, they'll have to do sort of a creative procurement method where we go out and solicit multiples, because they've been doing open bids, and we're just gonna have to, they're gonna have to try to solicit them directly from multiple sources. You still gotta have a competitive process, but reach out directly to people and ask them to bid, because they're not getting any bids, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Correct,
I think this was the only bid y'all got.
correct. And staff was expecting two, but we only received
And
one.
it was way high, is my understanding.
Yeah, it
Not
is.
the construction business, but they say it's super high.
So I make a motion to reject the RFP from Rubio and to allow staff to go out and negotiate for lower bid.
I have a question. So our original bid was for 500 and something thousand. Public Works went in and started on it, and now it's 172,000 more than what we were
From my
originally.
understanding, Commissioner Snelson.
And that's why we didn't want to reject it.
Yeah.
That's right, we got a $500,000 one, and we thought we could do it cheaper in-house, so the tear out is easy to do, so they went in and tore that out.
And cost
then
us
they-
172,000.
Well, no, but they went out to get another bid, and at this time, it didn't cost us an additional 172. It, because of the work they did, the current bid came back at
Yeah.
this.
Yep, that
So
was
we have a
smart.
motion on the floor.
Second.
Does everybody remember the motion? To reject the bid and allow, okay.
Yep, and allow,
Motion and a second, all in favor? Okay. Any more discussion about that, even though we shouldn't, but we were in the discussion, but we need to close the motion, so are we good there? Okay. Number 3 under new business is discussion of speed bumps on Dunn Road.
Commissioner, this was a request from a citizen, I believe at the last meeting. They requested speed bumps on Dunn Road. I've driven down Dunn Road, and I think speed bumps are warranted in that area along with some slow down signs. It's a 1.75 mile stretch. So we're asking for approval of installation of speed bumps along with slow down and speed limit signs along the 1.75 mile stretch on Dunn Road in Warm Springs. This measure is necessary to enhance the safety of the residents, pedestrians, motorists by reducing the speeding in the area. In addition to these traffic calming devices and signage will help improve road safety, protect the community, and ensure compliance with speed regulations. We believe this initiative will address ongoing concerns and contribute to a safer environment for all road users.
So do we have an estimation of the amount of money you're looking to spend?
I think the speed bumps would come way under our $5,000 threshold.
Well, don't we have some speed bumps?
I think it's Public Works does.
Okay, so we want requesting approval, but
It falls within, I don't think it'll go over 5,000.
depends on how many you put out.
But I mean, I think we got a bunch of speed bumps in Coleman Creek Circle.
The only thing we gotta keep in mind, could you had another subdivision call, we put some there, then another place called, and
So you know what, you got them all over.
Yes.
what I'm getting at is when it starts coming down to 911 calls, fire department, ambulance and so forth, that can start becoming a problem.
Yes, sir.
I know they want the car slowed down, they got kids out there, and I would be saying the same thing. I'd be wanting to slow down, and the sheriff's department says they can't go run radar on it because it's not registered, and I don't know what the answer is to it, but we cannot keep putting speed bumps all over the county to where it hinders somebody, a fire truck or ambulance getting to somebody's life. I'm just saying we need to keep that in mind,
Yes, sir.
what type of road it is and so forth. But
Ideally, I would say we put it out there for maybe 6 months and then bring them up and see if that kind of deters the speeders and reevaluate it after
I
that.
don't know if I'd do that, but
Because usually after a period of time, they know speed bumps are out there, they're going to slow down. And if it becomes an issue, we can put them back out.
yeah, but they smile when they're gone, take off
Yeah.
again. So I don't know what the answer is. But we just got to be caught. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, and I'll support it if the board supports, but I'm just saying we've got to be concerned with how many speed bumps and what areas you're putting them in. Like if it's an area with a lot more older people, you know, the ambulance cannot hit it running wide open. Am I right there, Mr. Brent?
You're correct.
You know, I mean, they got to slow down, go over, then go to the next one, go over. So it depends on how many you're putting out there, and that needs to be considered as they're doing it, is all I'm saying.
Yes, sir. And there's a little windy road sign out there, and I would like to try to keep them from going around that curve so fast that we wind up having an accident as well.
Well, this is in my district, and it's only an issue when the train is blocking the tracks on 194 during highway. And then people go around over the wooden bridge, or they turn right there on Dunn Road to go to the wooden bridge, and they all think they're gonna be late because the train was there now, and they're running 80, 90 miles an hour through those little curves. So, and citizens have asked for it. I'm in favor of it being there, but whatever the board decides.
Might want to
I'm not
even,
supposed to make a motion.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can,
No,
but-
that's fine, I'll wait. for you.
No, you
But
can at any given
with what
point.
you're saying, the train said, you might want to include a sign out there, there's no through traffic. I mean, it is, other just, if it's not designed for that,
That don't work.
No, it don't
Like,
work.
no truck signs. I mean,
the ball ain't gonna work either.
They
No,
go fast.
Oh,
I
well.
do think Commissioner King's making a valid point, like, if we end up putting these everywhere in the county, then we're creating another set of problems, but in some areas, it's.
Yep.
So, the motion from the board, or,
I'll make a motion that we install speed bumps on Dunn Road.
I'll second.
I'd like to add to it not to exceed $10,000. If that's okay with your motion.
That's good with me.
Okay, have a motion and a second, all in favor?
I think it'll be less than 5.
I think so, especially if we have them in the house.
We already got the speed bump.
Item 4 is resolution authorizing bank accounts and authorized check signers.
Commissioners, looking in the past, there's really not been nothing on file for bank authorization for the banks that we do business with in the county or a list of signers, except for just bring it to the board and the board just says okay. So this is just a resolution that establishes the banks in Meriwether County. That's on Exhibit A. This does leave, there was a finance director clause in it that I did take out, so the funds stay within control of the board, and no accounts are open or closed unless the board says so and they're informed of it. If the board would like to take a minute to read the resolution, or I can read it to the board.
I want to state a concern about a resolution on this situation. It has not just come to us before and it's been okay. Sorry. We have voted on it. And that vote holds the power of this board, saying we give the power of these individuals to sign on behalf of us, since we are a budget and policy board by law. A resolution in place. Say today, if we were to come in and do a resolution, and 2 individuals listed within that resolution are no longer here at some point in the middle of this annual resolution that we would have to do. If we forget, if staff forgets to go in and adjust something in this resolution holds a lot of power. And this resolution would allow whoever steps in, if we have a new county administrator or we have new individuals that come in and we don't correct or change that resolution, it gives a lot of power to a lot of individuals that I disagree with in the longevity that I've been here. I think that it suffices to go in and make a public statement and approval of the board as to who can and who cannot, because once that individual is no longer, it is automatically bound by those banking institutions that we have to go in and change that. They will not allow anything. If a resolution is put in place, then it gives a lot more power to a signing entity.
So you're not just saying,
I'm saying don't do the resolution, I'm saying continue in the manner that we have, and that is
Just name it
to.
who can sign the check.
And that's on Exhibit A.
Right, right.
the resolution gives like the county clerk to sign and
Well, it's under our order, it's
Well,
our
she
county
can too in
ordinances.
an
Yeah,
emergency.
but I mean, it doesn't name them.
Right, a resolution gives more power to individuals than our vote as to who can sign.
With that being said from Commissioner Thurgill, if the board would like to just do Exhibit A, that we do business with the banks that are listed, the funds that are listed, and the authorized signers are the ones that are listed in our code of ordinance, the county administrator, finance director, chairman, vice chair, and county clerk.
So basically what we're saying is either someone can make it a motion to approve the resolution, or we can make it a motion to publicly appoint Exhibit A, those titles
That's
for
not
those accounts.
And I'll make what I was saying a little bit clearer. So say for instance, if we say we allow the county administrator, we allow the county clerk in this resolution. That county clerk leaves, that county administrator leaves, well, comes in, and we have a probationary period in our policies for 90 days of any new county administrator coming in. If we don't go in and immediately change that resolution to fit that, whether a policy is in place or not, we now have a resolution in place that allows the county administrator to sign those checks. So I do think that it becomes an issue. It may not become an issue, but it opens the door for a big possible issue.
Are we operating under a resolution currently?
No.
No. The last one I found, I think it was just Bill brought an action paper and said, we have these banks.
Right.
These are the signers on the account, and we were trying to find an example of one. I think it was February of 23 was the last time it was brought to the board. And the only thing it mentioned in the minutes was the board approves said banks, said signers.
So why are we asking for a resolution this time versus what we currently operate in?
I was trying to get us more in compliance with more local government policies by doing a resolution, but I see
It's a
Commissioner Thurgill's.
recommendation.
Yes.
It's not a law. It is a recommendation under other government entities as to how they do things. And in other counties, it may work. Here, I foresee an issue, a possible issue.
So how do we want to handle this item? Is because it's asking for approval or disapproval of the resolution authorizing bank accounts and authorized check signers.
I make a motion to deny the resolution and to move forward with our standard of making appointments in an open meeting and voting on those individuals who can and cannot sign checks. That is the motion that's on the table, but I'll go a little bit further. So remember that motion. If we name specific bank accounts in a resolution or banking institutions, that has to be changed as well. With this saying that these individuals are authorized under our approval and vote, that they can sign the checks, it does not state specific bank institutions of that. The resolution is going to have a lot of specifics in it and a lot of unspecifics in it, non-specific information.
So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sorry, John.
Motion passes.
I'll bring at next meeting a list of, like we've done in the past with the signers and the bank accounts.
Okay. All right, item number 14, report from county administrator.
Commissioners, I spoke with Chris from EMC, the courthouse assessment. He believes it'll be 7 to 10 business days. He'll get started on that one, mainly due to the weather. I have communication with Mark Pulliam, the Manchester city manager, about the field foam removal. I just got an email from a contact with that, so we'll be getting that process started. He reached out and asked about that by email. I told him we actually just approved that, so we'll be removing the tanks, testing soil, everything, because he heard there was a rumor we were going to leave the tanks, and I told him, no, we're removing everything. Also need to be worked with Mark Pullen with the IGA on animal services. There have been a lot of Facebook posts regarding animal services, and I plan on sitting down with Mr. Mark and trying to work out an IGA on behalf of both. They have signed one in 22, but I don't think it was ever brought to the board for consideration, so we need to revisit that. Held Public Works Director interviews, worked with Bill Cawthorn to identify LMIG roads, the RFP bid opening for elections. We have several RFP openings on January 25th, the 3 for tax commissioner or the tax assessor's office plus Cane Creek Bridge. We do have a warming station open in Manchester at the community building across from Doug's Trolley. You would need to call the non-emergency E911 number at 706-672-3809 if you know anybody that needs to get into the warming shelter. We do have a driver for the 20-passenger bus to take individuals down and bring them back if needed. And like I said, the jail AC coils have been replaced. We're just waiting for staff to verify everything is suitable.
Any questions or comments from the county administrator? Move on, report from county commissioners. Commissioner Threadgill.
I want to welcome Jennifer.
Thank you.
It's going to be a tough ride someday, so hold on, okay? But you'll get there. Also want to congratulate Adam and Emmett on their chair and vice chair position, and I look forward to a much better year. That's all I have.
Commissioner Thomas.
I just want to thank the staff and all for the job I do. Congratulations on Miss Jennifer Snelson. And congratulations on Mr. Worthy.
Thank you, sir.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Snelson.
I just want to thank District 2 for trusting me, and I look forward to the next 4 years and serving the county.
I appreciate what all the staff's been doing. We had a tornado come through my area over there last week. We had 52 power poles snapped and a lot of trees down, but that's about the most of it. But the power company did awesome pretty much by the next day, that evening. Most all the power was back on. They were out there. There was crews. I don't know where they got them from, but there was crews everywhere and lights up and shining up in the woods, and they had a lot to deal with. So we're fortunate no major houses got destroyed, and we heard it, and I thought something was coming through, but it came through the backside of my property. So I just appreciate everybody that got out there and helped out. Even my own son, my stepson, was over on Gaskins Road, and they cut up right at 22 trees. The people could not get out, that lived there could not get out, so they went over there and personally cut them all up themselves. And some other citizens got out there with equipment and we shoved it all out. In about 45 minutes, that road was open. So I appreciate all those that got out there to help too. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the staff for what they've done with that storm that came through. Go ahead and thank them early for what they're gonna have to do this weekend, because we know they're gonna be out. I think they need to be safe. They have to do a lot of things when we can't or don't want to, they have to go do it. So thank them for that. Welcome Commissioner Snelson. I echo what Commissioner Threadgill said, it's gonna be rough some days, but it'll be fun most of the time. And thank Gene for being the chairman last year, and look forward to this year. Thank y'all for nominating me as the chairman, and look forward to what we can do this year. Do we have any report from county attorney?
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to report.
Okay, do we have a need for executive session?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, for litigation, personnel, and real estate.
No tax matters?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll read the future meetings and notices. So the offices will be closed in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Monday, January the 20th, 2025. January 28th, 2025 is the next regular scheduled meeting at 6 p.m. February 10th, 2025 is the regular meeting at 6 p.m. And the offices will be closed in observance of President's Day, Monday, February 17th, 2025. So
Mr. Chairman, I do realize that we need to talk about tax matters in executive session
So
as well.
we're, everything, all four in the executive session. So I have a motion to go into executive session.
For litigation, personnel, real estate, and tax matters.
Yep. Got a second?
Second.
All in favor?